You know, so then that was kind of like a hold up. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? And
did that make you want to be a rapper more, or make you want to make money to get it back?
Nah.
No. I'm not with him.
No.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, you know, I respect him.
Angela Simmons didn't need no long speech. Just 3 words flipped the internet upside down. When somebody asked if she was single and told her be honest, her reply told the whole story without her even dropping a name. Everybody instantly knew who she was talking about, and all eyes locked on Yo Gotti. The wild part, fast forward to right now, and the whole game flipped on its head. Gotti's the one chasing her, blowing up her phone, begging for another shot after Gorilla clowned him on live and embarrassed him in front of millions. But here's the thing. Angela was already pulling away way before that messy meltdown even happened. She had been going quiet, barely posting, staying low-key, and fans started whispering about what was really going down. Some claimed it was tied to those expensive gifts piling up, the late-night talks that felt forced, and the non-stop rumors buzzing around their love life. Let's rewind the clock for a second, because you can't talk about Angela and Gotti without remembering the very first move that set all of this in motion. Back in 2015, Gotti didn't just confess, he made hip-hop history. He hopped on social media and laid it all out raw. He typed, "I just followed Angela Simmons. Boy, I got a crush on Angela Simmons." No code words, no subliminals, just straight up feelings in broad daylight. That line went viral instantly. Fans were screaming, "Dang Gotti, you bold with it." He wasn't hiding behind lyrics or interviews. He let the entire world know he was crushing hard. And that fearless honesty had everybody rooting for him. And let's be real, Angela Simmons wasn't just anybody. She's the daughter of Rev Run, hip-hop royalty, practically untouchable in the game. Gotti knew he was reaching for the stars, but he still shot his shot with millions watching, and crazy enough, it worked. What started off as a playful rap bar and a viral DM moment turned into something real. By 2023, Angela shocked the world when she posted a flawless picture of them together, dropping the caption, "You are everything I need." That post wasn't just a soft launch, it was the official stamp. From the outside, it looked like a storybook romance. The internet crowned them grown and sexy couple goals, finally giving hip-hop a love story that looked polished, mature, and powerful. But behind the filters and captions, whispers started spreading. Folks close to the couple swore that all that shine was just for the gram, because if there's one rule we've all learned, it's this: Instagram lies. Allegedly, the cracks were already showing while the world was still swooning. Insiders claimed Angela was the one carrying the whole relationship on her back. One source even spilled that Angela felt she was giving way more love, energy, and attention than she was receiving in return. And with Gotti's non-stop hustle, late nights in the studio, label drama, and endless travel, it's no surprise she started feeling overlooked.
Too many things are going this way, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Even down to my travel, I'm like, ooh, if it's like off, that flight ain't for me, or this ain't for me. Like,
in Angela's eyes, she wasn't his number one anymore, and that's when the fairy tale started to unravel. Angela Simmons has never been anybody's plus one. She's a boss in her own right. She's running her own fashion lines, managing her empire, and carving her own lane in business. What she was looking for was consistency, security, and peace, not just flashy headlines or a man flexing for the gram. But while Angela was steady handling her business, another name started sliding into the mix: Glorilla. See, at the same time Gotti's CMG label was on fire, Glow was everywhere. Recording sessions, industry events, VIP after parties. You couldn't scroll without seeing her name. At first, people chalked it up to business as usual. After all, FNF had just turned into a worldwide anthem, and Gotti was the one pushing her to the top. But in this industry, business talk always finds a way of turning into rumors, and rumors never stay quiet for long. Then came the explosion that nobody saw coming. Out of nowhere, Glorilla hopped on IG Live and threw shade so sharp it sliced through the whole internet. She made Gotti look like he wasn't the powerhouse he claimed to be, straight up embarrassing him in front of thousands watching in real time. Just like that, Gotti's image cracked. He lost Angela's respect, his polished reputation, and the control he once had over his own narrative, all in one blow. Think about it. This whole story started like a fairy tale fantasy for a rapper. A bold, crushed confession that turned into a real relationship, one people actually cheered for. But in the blink of an eye, that fairy tale flipped into a full-blown circus, one of the messiest celebrity relationship meltdowns we've seen in years. And the craziest part, Glow didn't even have to spell out the details. Her one live was enough to send the internet spiraling. Fans weren't blind. They started connecting the dots quick. They noticed Gotti wasn't treating Glow like just another CMG artist. Nah, the way he moved screamed something way deeper, and the proof, that outrageous birthday gift. He didn't just show up with flowers or a nice dinner. He rolled in with a brand new Maybach truck, topped off with a giant bow like he was dropping down on one knee. That wasn't just generosity, that was a full-on statement piece.
Oh, hey, how y'all doing? Come on over here, man. Y'all whole squad, you know what I'm saying?
Let's be real, regular artists don't wake up to a $200,000 Maybach outside their door. That's not your everyday happy birthday gesture, that's luxury on another level. When Glorilla posted the gift with the caption, "You are the greatest," the internet lost its mind. The comments weren't even coded. People came straight out saying they messing around because the vibe was way too intimate for just a CEO-artist dynamic. It gave proposal energy, not paperwork energy. But Gotti wasn't finished. He doubled down with an even flashier flex. He blessed her with an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak watch, iced out in 18-karat gold, worth around $65,000. And of course, he didn't do it in private. He made sure everybody saw the drop. Fans couldn't believe it. This wasn't some casual label move. This was personal, calculated, and way too extravagant for just business. People started asking the real question, was this about music? Or was Gotti sliding into something deeper with Glow? The way Gotti carried himself around Glorilla only threw more gas on the fire. Every time he mentioned her in interviews, he hyped her up like she was the future of the game, bragging about her grind, her vibe, her unstoppable energy. Some folks said he sounded like a proud mentor, bigging up his artist, but others caught a different tone, like a man low-key, flexing about the woman who had his full attention. And then came the appearances. Gotti wasn't just signing checks and staying behind the scenes, he was front and center, pulling up at her birthday party in Memphis, rocking the stage with her, hyping her like her #1 fan. That wasn't CEO energy, that was public endorsement, almost like he was staking his claim for the whole world to see. And the wildest part, Glorilla didn't even have to act messy. She never disrespected Angela, never threw shade, never looked sloppy, but her presence spoke volumes. Whispers started spreading fast. People asked, if he's showering Glow with Maybachs and iced out watches, what's Angela really getting out of this? The optics were insane. Fans swore it looked like Angela was being replaced in plain sight, right on camera, by the very artist who was supposed to just be strictly business. And if actions speak louder than words, Yo Gotti's actions were deafening. While he was gifting Maybachs and diamonds, Angela was moving in a completely different lane. One late night, she posted a cryptic Instagram story that stopped people mid-scroll. "I desire everything that flows, everything that goes, everything that flows." To most, it looked like a random poetic vibe, but to those watching closely, it sounded like a woman quietly spilling her truth. It read less like daily inspo and more like, "I'm not standing by a man who shows loyalty to everybody but me." Insiders backed that up too. One source said, "Angela's not the jealous type, she's not insecure, but she's not blind either. She sees the red flags, even if they're just rumors." And that's it. Angela didn't want drama, she wanted reassurance. She wanted more consistency, more effort, more of Gotti's actual presence in her life. She wasn't asking for the world, just his time. But then things blew up for real when Glorilla clowned Gotti on IG Live, leaving him looking lost and off balance in front of millions. Suddenly, all those flawless posts of him and Angela looked staged, like smoke and mirrors to cover up cracks in their relationship. The internet ate it up like the latest reality show, and for once, Gotti wasn't controlling the narrative. He was the one scrambling, trying to win Angela back while everybody laughed at the chaos. Here's the kicker. Angela never gave the public what they wanted. No shade, no messy clapbacks, no loud rants. That's not her style. She hit them with silence instead, and that silence screamed louder than any drag ever could. And just when people thought Angela would stay silent forever, she delivered what might be one of the coldest yet classiest gut punches in celebrity breakup history. Months back, during an interview with Angie Martinez, she was casually asked if she was single. Angela didn't rant, didn't throw shade. She just smiled and said, "It's best to keep some things quiet. He has my utmost respect and affection, elegant, sharp, and final." She didn't have to say the words. Everybody knew she was done. Then she added, "He's working on his project. I'm glad for him that one line got praised as one of the most graceful breakup responses ever. Some fans even called it closure in its purest form. But now, those words hit different, especially after Glorilla's viral "I don't need no birdie" moment flipped the narrative. Suddenly, Angela's calm tone felt less like support and more like foreshadowing, like she already saw the storm coming and was quietly making her exit while keeping her dignity intact. Behind the scenes, rumors claim Gotti's been working overtime trying to win her back. Word is, he's been calling up mutual friends, sending flowers, and even reaching out to old connections just to get her to answer the phone. Insiders insist Angela knew way more about the label drama and the glow tension than she ever showed the public. That interview now feels like her warning shot, her subtle way of saying, "I gave it my all, but I'm not competing with chaos." And here's where it gets even messier. Blogs say Gotti's been lurking heavy on Angela's Instagram, liking old posts and leaving those digital breadcrumbs that scream, "I miss you." Of course, fans noticed immediately and dragged him online, calling it the classic move of a man who fumbled his dream girl and can't let go. The timeline's been split ever since. Some are roasting Gotti, saying he went from boldly chasing his ideal woman for years to now looking like a desperate ex clinging to the past. Others are more forgiving, pointing out that since he pursued Angela so hard before, maybe he deserves one more chance to get it right. But whether you're laughing or sympathizing, one thing's for sure: watching him chase her while the glow drama is still fresh has turned into pure social media theater. And through it all, Angela hasn't moved an inch. No rants, no clapbacks, just straight silence. And that silence cuts deeper than anything Gotti could ever buy. It screams she's already adjusted to life without him. Meanwhile, every move he makes just gives the internet more content to chew on, and in 2025, that's the messiest revenge of all. At this point, Yo Gotti's whole image has done a complete flip. He went from being praised as the boss who finally bagged his dream girl to getting clowned as the man who fumbled her in front of everybody. And while his love life is crumbling, his situation with Glorilla ain't looking much better either. Their messy fallout has him stumbling in ways nobody saw coming. So the real question is, why does Gotti look so desperate to crawl back to Angela now? Honestly, it feels bigger than heartbreak, like his whole empire is shaking. For weeks, whispers have been swirling about a possible RICO case tied to CMG. Nothing's official, but Gotti's name keeps popping up, especially with the Young Dolph murder trial heating up and dragging Memphis rap drama right back into the spotlight. And we all know how this industry works. When there's smoke, there's usually something heavy brewing behind the curtain. If those whispers have any truth, Gotti's boss image could be hanging by a thread. Now picture being Glorilla in the middle of that storm. She's one of the hottest young rappers out, flooded with endorsements, booked at major festivals, and building her own brand every single day. The last thing she needs is to get tied up in messy label drama or legal rumors swirling around her CEO. That's why her infamous IG Live moment made perfect sense. When she basically checked out in front of the world, it looked like she was protecting her bag before the whole situation spun out of control. Meanwhile, Angela's life is on the complete opposite track. She's not chasing clout or stressing over industry politics. She's a mother, a businesswoman, and she's built an entire brand around fitness, health, and empowerment. The last thing she's gonna do is let herself get dragged into RICO rumors, shady label chaos, or IG beefs. Her calm, respectful responses weren't just random, they were her classy way of saying, "I'm stepping off this ride before it turns into a full circus." And that's what makes it sting even more for Gotti, because while Angela quietly leveled up and Glow distanced herself to secure her future, Gotti looks like the one shaking. The man who once bragged about having it all, his dream girl, a rising superstar on his label, and a polished boss image, is now single, scrambling to save face, and at risk of losing the very artist who pushed CMG into the spotlight. Here's the twist. Yo Gotti went from flexing his long-awaited win to scrambling just to keep Angela. What once looked like a fairy tale is now a soap opera, with the internet watching the collapse in real time. Insiders claim he's been making desperate moves, flowers by the dozens, late-night calls she won't answer, even popping up unannounced. It's frantic, messy, and nothing like the confident boss image he built. Angela, meanwhile, hasn't budged. She's focused on her businesses, raising her son, and glowing in a way that screams unbothered. Some blogs even whisper she might be entertaining new suitors, but whether true or not, the message is clear. She's not waiting on Gotti to get it together. And then there's the glow factor. When your own artist clowns you on IG Live and distances herself, that's already a hit. But when the woman you chased for years decides she doesn't want you back, that's a double L the internet won't let slide. The memes have been ruthless, clowning Gotti daily like his downfall is free entertainment. Fans are split. Some still hope for a reunion, others roast him for realizing too late what he lost. But this doesn't feel like romance, it feels like the ending credits. Gotti's clinging to Angela because she was the one steady thing in his chaotic world, but with label drama exploding, Glow embarrassing him, and his reputation crumbling, she's the one piece he'll never get back. And the coldest part, Angela hasn't said a word about Glorilla or CMG drama. Her silence is louder than any drag. It screams she's not entertaining the mess. This could go down as one of the messiest public heartbreaks hip-hop has ever seen. Think about it. Yo Gotti spent years manifesting Angela, rapping about her, sliding in her DMs, and when he finally locked her down, the whole world cheered him on. But now, after being clowned by his own artist and seemingly iced out by Angela, he looks like a man chasing a chapter that's already closed. That fairy tale down in the DM love story that once felt untouchable might actually be over for good. And the industry is watching every move. Can Gotti recover from a double L, losing his dream girl and his rising superstar, or will this be the slip-up that defines his legacy? Because in hip-hop, nothing fades quietly. Love, loyalty, power, and pride all mixed together, and when they finally collide, the fallout becomes the story people remember forever. One thing's for sure, Angela is glowing, Glorilla is moving smart, and Gotti is left trying to pick up the pieces. And as this saga keeps twisting, you already know we'll be here to break it all down step by step. So what do you think? Should Angela give Gotti another shot? Or has she officially leveled up and left him in the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss the next wild turn in this drama. See you in the next one.